Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of the Swarm News. I'm Joshua Hill, and I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Vincent Lewis, and we're excited to finally kick off this YouTube channel and podcast, along with sharing a bit about who we are and what we're building with this channel and why it matters.
At the core, this show is about the lessons we learn in the military, actually doing something with them, like something that's going to help national defense, sure, but something that really makes an impact in our own communities. And whether you're a defense professional who lives and breathes for this stuff, or someone who's brand new to the world of sUAS, we're here to break it all down, make it understandable, and help you see how these systems are shaping the future.
Yeah, exactly, Josh. We're talking about sUAS technology, the defense sector, and the people behind it all, and especially those that are right here in the United States and how we can make a difference.
Yeah, so let's get started with the why. For me, after 20 years in military intelligence, I worked in the SIGINT, I've done ELINT, I've done FISINT, I've done some program management stuff. I saw where technology could be better, systems that were effective but pretty outdated, tools that worked, but they didn't really talk to each other and made our jobs a little bit more difficult than they should have been. And small businesses that had the talent and the people, but couldn't get through the contracting door to actually do any kind of mission or help.
Yeah, for me, it started when I left the service in 2016. After getting out the Army, I had to kind of think about what I was going to do, especially after spending the 16 years as a Patriot missile guy and then a part of the other 10 as a UAS pilot. Thinking, hey, what am I going to do now? Kind of recreating my whole career. Took a little bit of a step back and figuring out what it was. So going back to my hobbies, which at the time when I started to think, let me go into flying RC stuff again, that was kind of the start. And at the time then, it was also FPV drones were becoming a big hype. So I was able to get into that, turning my hobby into a career where I ended up going into being a UAS tech initially, to a UAS design, into engineering, and then kind of full circle back into like the intel side of it. Eventually for where I ended up before we got to here where we are now. And with that though, in that time frame, I kind of saw that there were changes that needed to be done in the industry, because right now it's been like a brand new second coming of aviation. And because of that, the changes that were being brought about really needed some structure to it, especially after seeing now in the Army, drones had a lot of structure in how we did things, but out here in the civilian world, wasn't there. Regulations not being used the way it should. FAA still trying to come up with concepts that would needed to be overhauled eventually, like it is now, and coming to a place to where the nation is finally coming to a place of seeing small sUAS is as big as important as even the bigger ones. So for those, not only those listening, but the nation and the whole world can understand, hey, we have an ability to bring you some insight that others may not be able to.
Yeah, and I think this is honestly like the reason and how the Swarm News came to life. You're talking about two different guys, one with an ops and training background, one with an engineering background, both of us with the same goal in mind. Let's build smarter systems where we live and put them to work for the whole country. I think this is a true passion for each one of us.
Agreed. That's the beauty of innovation. It doesn't have to start at a big city or in $1 billion lab. And in our case, a huge studio. We have, just like everyone else, ability to start and give it a purpose and the idea that everyone can be a part of.
Yeah, so let's get started and talk about why and what the Swarm podcast is really here to do. At its core, we're taking the fast-moving world of sUAS and making it make sense. We're going to dive into how these systems work, how they're being used in real-life missions, our communities, where the tech is headed. If you're a defense pro, great. You'll feel right at home. And if you're brand new to this, even better. We're here to guide you through without the jargon or the headaches. The goal of the Swarm podcast is for you to feel informed and have a better understanding of these systems, how they work, and how they're being used across the world.
Right. And our approach is to help address changes that aren't being addressed or simply not known in the UAS industry and the UAS realm, and make this channel useful for not only defense, but also for people in the industry, military, law enforcement, local government, state government, and even disaster response personnel. Anybody that really could use or help to get any information that may not be knowing or understanding to get that insight that they need.
Yeah, I mean, Vince and I have logged more hours than we'd care to admit, analyzing signals, stress testing different sensors, tweaking and working within parameters until our eyes just went blurry. I mean, also our systems don't just yell like alert, something's wrong, but actually knows what the actual threat is and what it means.
Agreed. I think that's what separates us from a lot of other channels and other people. We have hands-on, successfully built systems and tested and understanding of the ground level of a lot of the industry is going on now. And our goal is to make the sUAS industry less of a mystery for those that want to learn more about it.
Yeah, I mean, a good portion of that is also about the local impact, a big piece of what we're about. What we want to see is tech jobs stay here in Ohio where we are. We want veterans, engineers, and driven students to have real chances to work on like the latest systems and things that are going on, all without having to leave the community that they live in and love.
Exactly. There's so much untapped potential in the Midwest and other areas of the U.S. that those people who understand discipline, there are people there that understand discipline and work ethic and precision. We all understand what it takes to be at a job, but maybe not in this industry. So, some of those traits drive the innovation. A lot of those traits actually drive the innovation and define the need for the UAS industry itself, because the details that are needed are held by those that actually do it. So we want to give that opportunity for those who may not know or be on the border or the fence of it to understand what they are able to bring to the table and to start making their way into it.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, that's another one of the reasons we started this podcast, right? To open up the discussion about how small businesses and local communities can take on a bigger role in the evolution of sUAS. I mean, technologies and where everything is moving.
Exactly. It's about proving that the national defense doesn't just happen in Washington or Silicon Valley. It happens in the garages, workshops, small labs, basements, and different homes across the U.S., America, and other places around the world.
Yeah. So, I mean, looking ahead, our goal for this podcast is simple. Let's make it a place where people can understand the technology, learn the skills, and get inspired to become the next generation of sUAS operators and innovators. Our vision is to create a space where veterans, engineers, and makers come together, share their ideas, and work to solve real-world problems together.
I agree, Josh. And we're just getting started in what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a little bit about who we are and what we're building. The Swarm News podcast isn't just a platform for sharing innovation and insights from the front lines of defense and technology.
Yeah, and we look forward to seeing you at our next episode, where we'll be discussing areas of the counter UAS realm and of the UAS industry. That's what's really happening out there and what's changing and what's next for both military and civilian applications.
Yeah,
All right.
so thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us wherever you get your podcast and connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to learn more about who we are and what we're trying to accomplish.
Great. And until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and keep advancing the mission.
Take care, y'all.
Later.